I have Mazi Sam. He's a chairman on Indiable Council of Business Leaders. I beg your pardon for that. We're going to be having the conversation leadership in Southeast. Well, I think I wanted to have so much conversation with Afebolo.
No, I don't mind even starting with
yes,
that.
By all means, because it's something that I would want to discuss. So just let me get your take on that.
Yeah, of course, I think, governments upon government upon government, we haven't lost this military mentality. We say we're a democracy. You can call us a fledgling democracy, because there's no reason why they've arrested Faratumi. It has even nothing to do that the libelous case, so-called libelous case against Afebala, is a ruse. The major reason is that it's a thorn, the skin of government and all our political marauders we have in this country. People who claim to be leaders when they don't understand the essence of leadership, who are running down our country because of their selfish, commandeering of the country and its resources. Well, that is why I think they would have arrested him. Because if you've been following him, he's been very, very, very acidic in his commentaries and his criticisms about the way our country, about the way the governance, about the way of elections, and so many things. So I was wondering why they hadn't arrested him before now. So they found an excuse. You can see they've changed the charge.
Now it has to be a new charge. Of course.
Because the other charge is not sustainable. It was opportunity to bring him in and then put the right charges on him.
Well, honestly, I wish we could go on with this conversation, but yeah, we came to discuss something else. So let's go to that. Leadership in Southeast.
Yeah.
First of all, before I even go further to ask you anything, how has the leadership in Southeast been?
It's been unsatisfactory, to use a word that is moderate. Because you see the results, if you ask me, am I a good manager? Am I a good leader? Am I a good broadcaster? Whatever. How do we measure good leadership? How do we measure good manager? It's the ability first to lead your group to the desired goal where you all said you were going. 2, it is the ability to move people from a position of lower quality of life to a position of higher quality of life. So that's how I measure. I'm not just saying it politically or just offhandedly. I measure people by results. The Southeast, see where we are. We are not competitive with some regions in the country. That's why people are moving away from the Southeast to go to other places that there's better business opportunities, better, living opportunities, better security, and all that. You see that the level of poverty in the Southeast is high. Unemployment is high. Or what you have is a large portion of, underemployment, because everyone in the Southeast struggles to do something. So they do, a graduate doing taxi driving, a graduate hustling the marketplace. That's not the work we spend the government resources of the nation training him for. So this, for me, are the issue. Our leadership in the Southeast overall has not been satisfied, and it is symptomatic of what Nigeria is too. But ours has been particularly distressing. Everybody in Nigeria talks to you. Everybody talks to the Southeast. It tells you about the days of Nnamdi Azikiwe, the days of Opara, the days of Ibiam, and perhaps the nearest they can get to modern leadership is the days of Onunaka. What is his other? The name is not the governor of Imo.
Okay, I cannot remember, but we can go with this.
So he is the last person people mention as having given good leadership. After that, now, I don't know who you hear about. So our leadership in the Southeast has been poor, even though there's a resurgence of hope. When you look at the class of governors now, look at our political leadership.
Yes.
The class of governors now they seem to give hope, that maybe we are going to do better. Then you look at the political, you look at the social cultural leadership. We haven't gone far. One, because leadership has been essentially very, very transient. We haven't gotten any good leader who you can say you point back to his landmark achievements for the Southeast. You look at the youth leadership of the youths, you do not see anything cheering. People are, what you hear are issues related to protests, related to menacing people's life, people saying they want freedom, and yet they put other people under bondage. So you can see that there's nothing to cheer. The only thing to cheer is the ruggedness of the people, their resilience and perseverance, and the ability to trudge on, irrespective of the challenges of the situation. But is there an inspirational leadership? Is there a visionary leadership? We're still watching.
But then, where did that gap come into place? You mentioned some good leaders that had been before with their result and everything. But where did we miss it? At what point did everything start going downhill?
I want to tell you that it started going downhill after 1999. Really, yes, because the class that we remember predated 1999. And what people think was that, when the war ended in 1967, in 1970, we had remnants of the post-pre-war leadership. The Ziks I talked about, the Okpara, I don't know why I'm forgetting
The
former governor of Imo State, not Mbadiwe. Onunako is his first name, the one from Obo, popular Imo governor, who started the building of the crying governor of the South.
No, mentioned the
his name will come.
Yes, of
a
course.
popular name, but the way it happens. When you need a name, you just miss it. So he represented the last crop, but post-military, because of the way the military was doing their roller coaster transition. So people did not trust them that they will hand over. So when the political game opened, only the brave could go. Only those who who knew how to do business with the military. You know how the business does their business. Could go. So most other people who would have been more probably better leaders, they didn't show up. So some of these guys came, took reins of power, and since then seem to have consolidated hold on power, and makes it difficult for other people to enter. That is one. Number two is the issue of the way we came out of the war. We came out of the war deprived. Many people from the Southeast felt betrayed, and all that by leadership.
Yes.
So people were also no longer interested in leadership. They were interested in personal survival. So people focused on business and left leadership, whether it is local or national, left leadership for those who, in quotes, had more time. And that's where I think we started missing the way.
Yes.
And lastly, when we now had a situation where the country that we belong to, called Nigeria, began to discriminate against us, that wasn't our ability to offer leadership to ourselves, because we became disjointed, we became disconnected, and it became everybody fighting his own battles. So we've not got a good, in all sincerity, a political class that is transformational.
Yeah, okay.
We have transactional leaders at different levels, and all of us have failed to focus on that. We've been focusing on how do we survive. So it has not left the center open.
Now, when you say the country will belong to Nigeria discriminating us,
Yes.
now, history has been taken off the book of
Yeah.
secondary schools now. You no longer find history in classrooms anymore. Now, for our viewers watching, for the young people, you said Nigeria has discriminated us. Can you just expatiate a little bit on that?
Well, the point is this. You see, since the war ended, for example, it has been difficult for anybody from the Southeast to lead the country. Each time they showed up, you see a bias against them. That's one. Number two, if you see the way there's allocation of resources, allocation of political appointments, look at when Buhari was in government. He just ignored the Southeast completely. We started shouting. They say give him time. 8 years, he ignored the Southeast largely. This particular government now has 50 ministers. One state called Ogun State has 4 ministers. The 5 eastern Southeast have 5 ministers together. So do we need to go further to see discrimination? It is very evident, very clear. Look at the jobs they give to people. Check who is the head of customs, who is the head of police, who is the head of army, who is the head of. So the discrimination is clear, even the blind can see. And I don't know why it should continue, because I thought that discrimination would have been worse even after the war. But unfortunately, even after the war, the level of reabsorption and adoption of the persona was rapid. That was in 1979. Ekweme became the vice president, and probably would have been president maybe in 1986, because Shagari took the second office in 82,
82 years,
and he will have finished after 4 years.
Yes.
Yeah, but because again, people suspect that part of the coup, Buhari's coup in 1983, was to prevent that from happening. And since today, it's been proven, because, if you check when Buhari was in power, you hear about killing in the northeast, kidnapping in the southwest. They will kill police, they will kill army, they will destroy things, they will put down aircraft, they will kill air force. But kill one soldier or one police in the southeast, Buhari will wake up and start ordering that people, and then everybody Operation Dance, Operation Sync, Operation Python. It was invented for us. So you can see a very well. I personally saw the bias as a growing career person. I didn't believe it until I saw it myself in my career. And this was a private sector organization. The day I was being appointed to the board of the company, after my appointment, it was delayed for 4 years. The chairman of the company said, well, ladies and gentlemen, we can no longer stop bringing Mazi Ohuabunwa Sam to the board, even though he was in Ojukwu's army. Even though he was in Ojukwu's army. So that was declaration that having been in Ojukwu's army or having been in Biafra,
that's the major reason.
Yes, it is. I'm giving you a first hand. So I felt it, I saw it, and I have seen it repeatedly. And we're begging Nigerians, they should forgive us now. If whatever we did to them, we are the people that show that we're true Nigerians. Kill us, how many times have they killed us in Kano? We'll go back. They kill us in Kaduna, we'll go back. But the same people who go to Lagos, every nook and corner, where they do not go, we'll go and buy flooding mashi area, turn it around, and build houses, start our businesses, marry, And so, who is more Nigerian than the Igbo man? Let me know who he is.
Well, I would honestly, I could imagine what you felt having to have worked that long, the promotion delayed for 4 years.
Yes.
But before I move on, do you think that of course, not only you had experienced that,
Sure.
Do you think it could be part of the reasons why a lot of people or Igbo people or the people from the South don't want to even try those positions anymore?
I agree with you. I agree with you because, you know, in 1923, one of the things that took me into politics, I ran for office in the primaries for PDP, primaries for presidency, was that there was this campaign that is the turn of the Southeast. It was a very well canvassed view. And naturally, a lot of people from the North, even from the South, other parts of the country, our neighbors in the South side agreed. The campaign was, it is the turn of the Southeast. That part of the thing that motivated me to come. The party that I belonged, PDP, used to zone offices, zone things. So we thought that after the last Nigerian president was from the North, and they had elected a chairman of the party from the North, so we saw that naturally presidency will come to the South. But the party got there and said it was open. So it's survival of the fittest. And you know the currency of battle, the weapon of battle in Nigeria is money. And people like us who have held no political office before, who have had an opportunity to get money other than from our sweat, or now that I'm retired as a pensioner, that's all the money I get. How could I compete favorably? Where it is an all-comers game. You had the Atikus, you had the Wikis, you had the Sarakis, you had it was like a heavy fighter. I mean, all the heavyweight fighter
heavyweight champion
with a featherweight. One want to commit suicide, I want to commit murder.
Okay, so for the North, they have the Emir. The Yoruba have the Oba. A lot of people believe, or there's a school of thought of people who say that because the Igbo doesn't have a king, per se, in quote, maybe that's why there's no unity in leadership. What's your take on this?
I don't think so. You know, the Igbo is the most organized group, but we are Republican. We are democratic, if you want to call it that way. That's our governance. But we're effective. When you say we don't have kings, it's not true. I come from Aruchku, and Aruchku has had an Ezaro before the colonial people came to Nigeria. In fact, when they were recognizing Ezes in the Southeast, or traditional rulers, Aruchku was number 1. Then Onitsha was number 2. I think Uguta, number 3. In the whole of Southeast, there were 3 recognized first-class traditional rulers.
But then,
so let me come.
Yes, okay.
So many places had their rulership. In the places where they didn't have monarchical rulership, like the other parts of the Igbo,
yes,
they had leaders, whatever name they call them. There was a leadership structure in every community. Every community had a leadership structure. They gave them different names. It is the white man that's introducing chiefs and all that. They gave them names. And there was a hierarchical leadership. If you want something to happen to you, you go to your Iku, you go to Munna, you go to Ezi, you go to Oha, till you come to there was a system. Whether you had a case to settle, you had issues, there's a procedure, organized. The Igbo are the only group of people who have unions all over the world. In Lagos, I attend my own family union, I attend my village union, I attend my town union, 3 from the same place. Then I attend Abia, then I attend Ndibo. We have meetings, we have organizations which help us to organize ourselves, bring development to our communities, and get things done. So it has nothing to do with having kings or having no kings. We were self-governing. We didn't need any. The Igbo does not like imposition. That's who we are. We like discussing things and agreeing, and then set the method of implementation, and set the bounds. and the consequences for not. That's why they can come and take your goat, take your cow, if you didn't meet the requirements of a particular decision. The Igbo is organized when it comes to leadership. We lost it when everybody began to run after the war, after they gave us 20 pounds, and our president, what was it called? The head of state had, in quote, run away to, he said he was going to seek peace. So we are left on our own. Those Nigerian soldiers met, they killed. Those they arrested. So everybody was fighting his own battle. There was nobody to protect you. So people lost hope in leadership. That is the genesis. And necessarily running where they can get. There was nobody that stood to help the Igbo. Nobody. We were on our own. Nobody could speak for you. Okay. You know.
Yes. So one of the good thing about humans is that so long as there is life, there is hope.
Sure.
Now, agreed, this leadership was lost a long time ago. And just like you said, the political parties are trying right now to, do something about it. If there's an issue in the North, you hear that the North governors, whether APC, PDP, LPP, or whatever, they're coming together to fight this.
Yeah.
But now, what strategies do you think the Southeast leadership panel can do as well? What strategies do you think they can put in place to better the leadership?
Thank you very much. Yes. This is perhaps why you called me in my introduction. You said I was the chairman of the Council of Igbo Business Leaders. I believe that Igbo lost a very important person in Chief Emmanuel Iwanyanwu, because I saw a leader who was willing to harness the Southeast. Iwanyanwu called me in 2022 after I lost my primary, wasted a little money that I had, sold my assets to fund myself with some friends who gave me some support, because I was a greenhorn. I don't blame them. And they knew the method of Nigerian politics. Their capacity and competence and character are not part of the considerations. So he called me to join him. He was then the president, the chairman of the Council of Elders. I say, "Okay, I'm tired. I'm tired of this Afamako work. I've done enough of NGO work. Please leave me alone." He didn't leave me alone. He got me in December 2023. He got me. He says, "Sam, you ran for president once, and you're so tired. I ran 3 times. That thing you wanted to do for Nigeria, which they have failed to allow you to, that thing I had in mind to do, which they failed repeatedly to allow. Why don't you put it together and come and develop the Southeast?" Now, hitherto, I've been involved. There's a group we call Alibo Development Foundation. We are trying to see how we can harness the Southeast, bring us together, and focus on our own region. We have found that Nigeria discriminates against us. I can shout it from the top of the rooftop. It's not something that is hidden. It's very clear that the leadership in Nigeria and the elites still have not forgiven us. In fact, I think their anger got worse, that they thought after the war we stay down, and we're now rising. So I'm rising higher than them. So that has added to their unhappiness, I believe. So anyway they have opportunity to pull us down or don't allow us pass, they will do it. So let those who can do politics, who understand how Nigerian politics is done, let them continue. Whatever we get from the federal, fine, we're part of the federation. But let's come home, develop our own place. That's why we started Akurulo. That was ATF, started Akurulo several years ago. Other groups in Alibo have also joined in talking about Akurulo. But what we have failed to get is who will harness it, who will bring us together. Unfortunately, our governors have not shown that overriding desire to bring the Southeast together. The last set of governors did not meet regularly. The one before them had problem with meeting regularly to discuss issues. There were all kinds of Southeast movements, Southeast Development Commission, Southeast, names, groups of people trying to form regional integration, recommend to government, and nothing happened. So when Iwanyanwu came and called me, I said, sir, I don't want to do this. I don't want to waste my time. Then he told me that we have a new set of governors who he believes, many of them came from the private sector, that we can put, they should be able to understand what we're saying more than maybe some who were just politicians. And we got together. I decided to agree. I decided to form this council of Igbo business leaders. And the idea is to use business, which is an area of competence, area of prowess. God has given us business acumen anywhere. Why don't you use that as a rallying point? Leave politics, because politics has not allowed us to have a rallying point. We start ABGA, we leave it. We start OBGA, we leave it. We go from ABGA after being governor, we go to PDP. We go from Labour after coming to position as House of Rep, we go to APC. So it's political rallying in Alibo. It's going to be a long time coming. So let's be non-political. Let's get together. So we have formed the Council of Igbo Business Leaders, and we're recruiting members. One of our objectives is to create a platform to bring unity of purpose in how to develop our Igbo. Now, the governors have the primary responsibility because they have the resources.
Yes.
They're the one who collect taxes from us. They're the one who collects national income and all that. So they have the money. And it's part of their mandate to develop. But many of them are focusing on their states. We are speaking about what we do a cross-country thing. Look at insecurity, for insecurity in Southeast. The moment you continue to treat insecurity as a state, regional thing, it will not happen. We need to have an integrated regional strategy to deal with security. That was why I was happy the governors also instigated a security and economic last year. That was something that was done in Owerri. As we speak today, we're still waiting to see the results of that. So our desire in the council is to work with the governors. Luckily, we have been able to meet with Governor of Imo State, who is the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum. And what we told is, look, we're not coming here to struggle for relevance. Because most of us in the council, you know, are people God have blessed. They are doing well in their businesses. So we're here to say, what is your plan? How do we help you bring that plan to fruition on a cross-cutting regional basis? Let us forget, in quote, forget about Nigeria. Whatever Nigeria is doing to us. Suppose we're a country, can't we survive? And especially when people talk about Biafra, which is Biafra? Biafra is not here. So what is to assume that we have the Biafra in our brain and build a Biafra that we think is the Eldorado, that the whole world will come and visit and love. We don't need anybody's permission. We're not seceding, but we can, if Biafra is a mentality or philosophy, let's use it to build a nation that is where all of us are treated fairly and equally. A country where everybody has something is due, where you're encouraged to fulfill your destiny. A country that is entrepreneurial, where the investment policies and programs are promotive. You know, think about the young people.
Yes.
How do we help them start businesses and grow businesses? We used to have an apprenticeship system. How do we reform this apprenticeship system so that it's not just a burden? That's part of what we're trying to do. We're trying to set up an apprenticeship system. So it's not just you, if you are trading or doing some, taking one or two people. We can give you 10. But after it's not your responsibility to settle them. They will raise the funds to help them settle. So we expand what we have been doing as individual and then put group power behind it. So that's the kind of thing we're doing, because we believe that if we're able to improve the economic well-being of our people, they won't be going to Kano. And they kill them in Kano, burn their property, they go back. They won't be, I mean, after the elections, the people in Nigeria, Igbo people living in Lagos and some other southwest were threatened.
True.
Their
There were
properties were
videos,
taken.
and there was even a
I
hashtag trends.
I live there.
Oh.
I live in Lagos, so I can tell you that. There was a Alaba problem. Luckily, the governor of Lagos State and Imo State governor intervened. I'm a member of the committee trying to resolve that problem because they destroyed the houses of Igbo traders, and it has happened in many places. They can bring any guys, anybody who, when police wants to arrest you, they can even say you are riding a car alone in the night, and when you tell them you are with the father, God the father,
and they say he's overloaded. Well, just before I let you go,
Yeah.
was it Rochas we're trying to remember? Was it Rochas?
Mbakwe. Onunako Mbakwe. I don't know why nobody remembers Mbakwe.
Okay.
He was a leader today.
Yes.
An Igbo leader, a special political leader. Everybody refers to him. After that, you have some military people, but because they were transient, people like Ike Nwachukwu and all that. So they didn't even have time to finish what they started. Like the Imo airport was started by Ike Nwachukwu, then other people follow. So, but our political leaders who had definite, somebody ruled Abia for 8 years, another one did for 8 years, another one for 8 years, 16 years. When you go to Abia, what they have left behind is not commensurate with what Abia ought to be or what other. And so it is in other states. But we're looking at what OT is doing now, what Hope is doing, what Soludo is doing, what Muifri is doing, what Mba. And we're encouraged. The signs we're seeing are encouraging us. And our hope is that we can work with them as a council to make sure that it's not a pyrrhic. What we are seeing is not the more you see, the less you look.
Yes.
That we would build a better Igbo land for everybody.
So in 30 seconds,
Yeah.
Because this is, of course, the national TV, everybody gets to see it.
Sure.
And what do you think the governors of the Southeast can do right now?
The easiest thing they can do is to embrace people like this council. Look for people who are not necessarily interested in politics. Because so the governors are afraid. I remember when I was doing something in Abia, the people from Abba thought I was trying to run for office. So that happens. So, but this council were not interested in politics. For me, I finished politics. So I want to develop a league. So let them harness us. We are willing to work with them. The governors are busy. They have 1,001 things they are looking for. But why don't we come and have an economic blueprint and give it to us as private sector people to push for you,
regardless of who is coming as governor.
Yeah. So it is fixed that in the next 20 years, this is what we're going. We keep pushing it, and we'll achieve it. Because you leave it for governor, he comes, works for 2 years, he starts campaign.
Yes.
Nigerian governance here is 2 years, then campaign another 2 years, then he comes on another 2 years, then he starts planning his exit. So governance takes a little time. People came to office in 2022. By 2023, they started putting together money for 2027.
Oh, thank you very, very much, Mazi Sam.
I
must confess, I loved this conversation. Left to me, I would want it to span more.
Well, some other day.
Yes, most definitely.
I'll stop by.
I also want to hear your story, being one of the people who were in Biafra.
Yes, I have a book. The Kodako volunteer. Unfortunately, we don't have one. I'll give you one.
By all means, I would love to.
You can read the story of a young lieutenant.
I would get it from you.
Right.
Well, that's too much we can have on this conversation. What's coming next is retrospect. Just stay tuned.